Good morning. My name's Dalene Allen, Executive Director of BNI Nova Scotia. What is BNI? Business Network International. And now more than ever, we need to support local businesses in Atlantic Canada. And really, let's support everybody around the world because we'll get further if we do help each other. So good morning, Geoff Crinean.
Hello, how are you folks? Good to be with everybody in this weird and wonderful world.
Exactly. And our world got turned upside down with the pandemic, but we're looking past that. We're looking to the future. And I have to tell you a little bit about Geoff Crinean, an incredible, remarkable man whose resume would be 20 pages long for all the things that he's done. But he realized his specialty was being a business coach and helping people make plans for their future. And now more than ever, Geoff, people need you.
Oh, yeah.
So why, now more than ever, is a business coach the best idea?
Well, Dalene, it's good to see you again. I think that this is a time when there's tremendous anxiety and confusion for everybody, but particularly for entrepreneurs. They're in many entrepreneurs in a very difficult position. Some are stuck or even in freeze mode. And many need to pivot now and work in different modes and in different ways and with a different strategy. So having a coach is an extraordinary experience because you basically have a sort of strategy partner who can talk through your strategy with you and then offer experiences from, in my case, my life, a very rich life I've had. And you also need, not only do you need strategy and somebody to work with on that, you need to also be looking at your whole life because many things have changed in people's lives. And balance, I think, now is more important than ever. So because we don't have the face-to-face communication that we used to have, so how you are in your life comes right across on that screen. So if things are bad in some areas of your life, it tends to show up in your demeanor. So I work with, of course, strategy and tactics in business and also balancing people's lives. And you'll find that the way you are, if you are leading a balanced life, it directly affects the sales and marketing process. So a business coach helps identify the priorities for you. So not only in your business, but also in the rest of your life, and then helps you map out how you're going to achieve all those priorities and goals and keeps your feet to the fire on the way so that you actually do things that you say you want to do. So one of the things that, for example, that I work with a lot, Dalene, is getting people to understand the difference between stuff that is urgent, which usually is sort of crisis mode, got to do it today kind of stuff, and also stuff that's extremely important but not urgent. So planning when you do the important stuff, a coach can be extremely helpful in that. So that's why I think today more than ever, just now in this time, it's very, very helpful to have a business coach and a business partner. Basically, by hiring a coach, you're hiring a partner, which is an extraordinary experience for people.
Well, and a couple of key points that you really hit on there, because most of us are in lockdown now. We're spending more time with our families, as well as trying to either run a business or work a job. And so being able to look at that whole picture, I do know some people that you have coached, Geoff, and the difference I see in them is peace of mind, and you can tell that they're happy and that they've got a plan. And let's say right now, because of the pandemic, I'm a planner, and what would you say to somebody who likes to be in control and can't be in control?
Well, I think if I was working with you, I would really have you distinguish between the things you can control and the things you cannot. And I would have you try to let go the things you cannot control. And then that creates a much more fluent situation, I think.
Exactly. And a couple of key words, to be able to adapt. And I think sometimes people aren't giving themselves credit for being able to adapt, but we are in a fog, we can't plan. And to me, that is the peace of mind that having those tools that Geoff can provide for you, huge. Now, of course, I would highly recommend Geoff. He, as he said, an unbelievable life with experience, global experience. So no matter what kind of profession you're in, he sees it from many different points of view. So how can you find a business coach that's right for that person? How does that work?
Well, there's some things you can look at. And I wouldn't put too much emphasis on this in a way, but anyway, people are interested. Like I've been trained at the Wazoo. I was trained by the as a certified coach by the Coaches Training Institute, which is, I think, the biggest training, coaching training outfit in the world. Fantastic teachers, brilliant people. And they teach you by doing. So you get into a hell of a mess, and then they critique you. Anyway, I spent quite a few years with them, and I made friends with a couple of them and a couple of extraordinary coaches, and went into business with them. I'm also a member of the International Coaching Federation, long time. In fact, I've been coaching actively for 20 years now, but I had like 7 careers before that in different countries, and I was doing a lot of mentoring anyway, and I always found it fulfilling. So training is important, experience is important. For example, and the environment sometimes you work in, like I've worked in scientific environments, engineering environments, IT environments, big IT environment in London, lots of corporate environments I've been in and worked in. And in particular, I've run my own few businesses. I've failed a couple of times in business, and I've also had success in entrepreneurial work. So I've been in those different environments, and again, in different countries. So experience is very important, I think. And to some extent, testimonials. I've got loads of testimonials. But of course, you only ask people for testimonials when they think you were pretty good. So I think in the end, all that's sort of important to look at. But the key thing, I think, Dalene, is if you want to find the best business coach, is to do a session with them, which is why I offer a free session to anybody in BNI or anyone who's friends of or connected with a BNI member. And in a free session, you can find out for yourself who's the best business coach and whether I'm suited to you. And what I do is I ask various questions. I get a picture of a person's life, and then I ask them, well, if I was your coach, what's the most important thing? What's the most important thing that's bugging you right now? And I'll coach you on that. And so I do. And then they get an experience of what it's like. So, and that free session is great value. You're guaranteed to get something valuable out of it. And it doesn't, it's not important whether or not you become my client to me. But if you choose to, then we can go on from there. If not, then you'll have got some value.
Excellent. Well, and as with BNI's core value of givers gain, Geoff, you were born with it. You love to help people.
I do, actually. It's my fulfillment. If I can help someone, that makes me feel great, and they'll go on and help others too.
Exactly. And they will pass it on.
Yeah.
So, but if somebody really wants to make a change in their life, get some direction, remove that anxiety because they've got better balance in their life, what really should somebody come into coaching knowing what a business coach really expects of a client?
Oh, well, I think the main thing, actually, the root thing is that someone is willing to do what they say they're going to do. It sounds incredibly simple, but like the world is full of procrastinators right now, Dalene. People who can make great plans and great ideas, but they don't actually do anything. So what holds people back, and most people don't know this, is what holds people back is habitual patterns of some sort, habitual thinking. So what I've developed is I found that I'm not that interested in doing one-off sessions with people. I found that a 90-day period is 3 months is enough time to make the changes, like work at making a change in those patterns that are holding you back and break through them and get used to a new pattern to come to a different stage or a different, whatever it is that you're being stuck with. So I think the commitment thing is really important. And I try to, you know, of course it's an agreement, but I try to hold people to their commitment, and they like that. And they know that if they're going to talk to me next week, I'm going to be there saying, well, how did it go? You know, and so the first thing is you need to show up. And of course, in this environment, I do everything by Zoom. And I send the Zoom link, and I begin the session, the 90-day session, with a 2-hour introductory period, where I call it an induction session, which is my agenda. And I ask a zillion questions. I try to get a picture of the person's whole life, but in particular, what I try and do in that session is get a clear view of their goals in every area of their life, from where they are now, where they'd like to be in 3 months. And I call that the big client agenda. So I hold that. So every time we meet, we don't necessarily discuss that, but I remember that and I hold that, because my job is to help that person get from here to here in all their different areas. So that first session's the induction session. And then every 2 weeks, I have a meeting where it's the client's agenda, your agenda. What is the current thing you're working with? What are the big challenges? How did you do with what we agreed you'd do last time? And so on. So my agenda at the beginning, and then the client's agenda every single time after that. And of course, I help them with that. And each time we're working on current challenges, but we agree the actions that the client wants to take. So I usually, you know, I try and nudge them. I'm always thinking about where they're going. So I nudge them towards that. But sometimes it's too much. So we go backwards and forwards, and they agree to do that. So by moving from here to here to here to here to here to here to here, bingo, finally they get to where they want to be. So they need to show up.
Yep.
They need to show commitment to what they're going to do. Of course, they need to pay me. And my rate, of course, my rate is very reasonable for BNI and for BNI friends. So I recommend they contact me. Anyone who's interested in coaching, never been coached, would like to experience it and would feel like there might be some benefit, please contact me, because I'll do a free session. You know, it's an amazing experience, Dalene, to have a champion, someone who's in your corner and who wants nothing other than to get you to where you want to go. Exactly. That really helps people, and it gives them a chance to reach those goals that they really yearn for. So that's the commitment that they need.
Well, and now more than ever, I could compare, let's say, what's going on in the world, but also what you offer. It's kind of like a gym membership. The only way we get a benefit if we get to it. And procrastination, like you said, when you don't know what's happening next week, sometimes it's hard to plan. But when you have that person who is taking you step by step and kind of making that clear that that person knows from 1 week to the next, that's all I have to be concerned with, right? That you're that GPS to get them from start to finish on that trip of life.
Oh, that's a good one. That's right. I'm a GPS for people. That's right. Yeah.
And here's the other part. One of the things that I see from people that I know that you have coached is more happiness, less stress, but a feeling of, at this situation or time in our life when we're really feeling like there is no control. And that's why I think there are more than ever people procrastinating or stuck in the mud or whatever, that even that first session can help start to clear the path, that if now isn't the right time, you'll never know. And here's the thing, if you want somebody, then to me, Geoff, just with his life experience, on top of being a coach long before people ever were coaches, that you truly have the experience to take those people to such an amazing place, Geoff. And that's one of the things I love about you. You're the easiest person in the world to talk to and just have so much experience to share.
Thank you, Dalene.
Oh. So highly recommend this man. You want to finish with anything, Geoff, there?
No, I'm dying to meet whoever's interested. And, you know, I like to see people make changes in the world. And if people have an aspiration for that, I'm thrilled to help.
That's right. Or I think there was a quote from Shakespeare, and I likely won't get it right. We know what we are, but not what we can become. And I think right now we're all looking for more meaning in our life. And to me, that's exactly what you can do, Geoff, is
Yeah.
help them live a better life.
Meaning and fulfillment is what we all need. And that's what I aim to help people reach.
Exactly. And I'm hoping when we come out of this, we'll all care about each other just a little bit more. Thank
Yeah.
you to Geoff Crinean.